For 30 years, I thought I knew the man I married, but that night he told me something that made me realize I'd been sharing my life with a stranger. Every story holds a secret. Stay with me, hit that subscribe button, and don't miss what comes next. My name is Claire, and today would have been our 30th wedding anniversary. The day that ended everything I ever believed about love, trust, and forever. When people talk about happily ever after, they never tell you how quickly ever after can disappear, with one truth, one confession, one box. I still remember the way the morning sunlight touched our kitchen that day. Golden, warm, peaceful. I had spent weeks planning the perfect surprise dinner for my husband, Michael. 30 years of love, laughter, storms, and quiet evenings. I thought I knew him better than anyone in the world. But that night, I realized I never truly knew him at all. The restaurant was softly lit, with candles flickering on every table. He looked nervous when he arrived. His tie was slightly crooked, and he kept checking his phone, something he rarely did. "Michael," I smiled, "you're acting like it's our first date." He chuckled, but it didn't reach his eyes. We talked about the past, the children, our plans for retirement, but his mind seemed elsewhere. There was a heaviness around him I couldn't name, and then, just as dessert arrived, he cleared his throat. "There's something I need to tell you, Claire." My heart skipped. It wasn't the tone of a confession. It was the tone of someone about to destroy everything. He took a deep breath, eyes trembling. "For years, there's been someone else." For a moment, the sound around me disappeared. The restaurant, the music, the laughter, it all blurred into silence. Someone else? No, not Michael. Not the man who held my hand through every storm, who kissed my forehead every night. But he wasn't done. We have a daughter. She's 28 now. 28. I didn't even do the math. It screamed itself in my head. He had been unfaithful, just 2 years after our marriage. For nearly 3 decades, he lived 2 lives, one with me, one in the shadows. I stared at him. He looked broken, tears forming, hands shaking. I couldn't hide it anymore, Claire. I had to tell you. I need to be honest before it's too late. I wanted to scream, to throw my glass, to demand an explanation, but I didn't. Instead, I smiled, calm, almost gentle. I reached into my bag and placed a small velvet box on the table. "This," I said quietly, "was supposed to be your anniversary gift." He looked at it with confusion. Slowly, he opened it. Inside was a small golden key, engraved with a date. June 12th, 1993. His face went pale. He whispered, "How do you know that date?" I leaned closer. "Because that's the day she moved into the apartment you paid for? The one under your mother's name? The day your business trips started?" His lips parted, but no words came out. "I've known for 27 years, Michael," I said softly. "Every lie, every trip, every excuse." I didn't say anything, because I wanted to see how long it would take you to tell me the truth. He sat frozen, the color drained from his face. I continued. "But the truth? It doesn't hurt anymore. The lies did. Every day you came home and kissed me goodnight after being with her. That's what killed me long ago." Tears slid down his cheeks. "Claire, please, I can explain." "There's nothing left to explain," I said, standing. "I forgave you a long time ago. I just never told you." He looked up, confused. "Forgave me? Then why the key?" I smiled faintly. "Because tonight, I want you to face the one person you never had the courage to be honest with." He frowned. "What do you mean?" "The key," I said, "opens the safe in our home. Inside, you'll find letters, one for every year you lied, 30 of them, one for each anniversary." He gasped, eyes wide. "Claire, I wrote them after every lie I discovered. Every night I cried alone while you slept beside me. They're not angry letters, Michael. They're reminders of what love could have been if you hadn't broken it." I turned to leave, But before I walked away, I whispered, "This isn't punishment, it's closure for both of us." He didn't follow me home that night, but the next morning I found the box returned to our doorstep. Inside was the key, and all 30 letters, unread, and on top a single note. "You were stronger than I ever was. I'm sorry." That was the last time I ever saw him. He left the house, the city, and, from what I later heard, he left everything behind. Sometimes I wonder what hurt more, his betrayal or the years I wasted pretending I didn't know. But here's what I learned. Sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's the loudest kind of strength. Because when love dies quietly, truth doesn't need to scream. It just needs to be heard. One last time. And as I sit here 30 years later, holding that same golden key, I realize forgiveness isn't about them. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of what they did. So tonight, I'll light a candle, pour a glass of wine, and whisper to the stars. I kept my promise, Michael. I gave you the truth, and I set us both free.